Welcome to the new curriculum where nothing we share is new. Today we'll be discussing willpower, and more importantly, how to utilize your willpower to effortlessly allow energy to flow towards your desired reality and break free of any harmful cycles and addictions that are causing you to stay stagnant in your life. But before we can understand how to utilize our willpower, we first must understand one thing: free will. Now, it's important for us to understand what our will is. As humans, we have the ability to direct our creations, and that's what our will is. Our will is our ability to direct our creative powers. Now, free will is our ability to choose where our creative powers are going to go. We can choose to go through door A, or we can choose to go through door B. We can choose to eat a banana, or we can choose to eat an apple. Now, the reason I have two doors here is because there's a catch to free will. There are only two doors in life. There are only two doors in life that you can walk through. While there are an infinite amount of decisions, there are an infinite amount of potentialities, there are an infinite amount of fruits to choose from, there truly are only two doors that you can walk through in this life. And this is where your free will comes into play. Free will is choosing between either the will of man or the will of God. And you, right in between, this I, can identify either with the will of God or the will of man. And I put a couple other terms and ways to look at each of these wills so it makes a little more sense. The will of God we can look at as the will of our higher selves. This highest self that is within us, that is continuously seeking to move upwards. It's continuously following our wonderful imagination, our infinite potential, harmony with nature and this universe, and ultimately infinite intelligence. And the will of man is this lower self, these urges, habits, human desires, addictions, worries, and fears. And as humans, we have the opportunity to identify with either one of these. We can identify with the will of God or the will of man at any time. And that's not to say that the will of man is bad and the will of God is good. We have free will for a reason. We're here to experience. We're here to indulge in both. We're here to experience both this lower earthly self and this angelic godly self that we are. And so as you see here, this will of God is pointing upwards and this will of man is pointing downwards. And us as individuals are right in between, experiencing what we are experiencing. Living in Florida, it's hot as fuck, and the best way to deal with the heat, in my eyes, is to just spend time in something hotter. When you spend 20 minutes in a 200-degree sauna, 90 degrees kind of feels like 70 degrees. All right. So the fire's just getting started. It's probably about 140 degrees in here without the fire even cranked up yet. Like, give it a couple minutes and it'll start amping up. And then we got the steam over here, some lavender oil just to relax and chill. My favorite thing is this sauna. This sauna is a lifesaver. If I didn't have this sauna, I don't know what I'd do. I guess find another sauna. So as we discussed before, free will is the ability to choose between this will of man and this will of our infinite imagination, God, the God self, however you want to put it. We have two choices. We can either choose the will of man or this will of God. The common misconception about willpower is that willpower is about doing more. It's saying yes to 5 more minutes in the sauna. It's saying yes to another 5 sets or another hour in work. But willpower truly has no ability to actually push you forward. It's not a forward-facing force. That forward-facing force that allows you to move forward in life, we can call your imagination, this infinite intelligence, your God self. Willpower is kind of the space between. Willpower is your ability to cut cords and make decisions. So when we're looking at willpower from the standpoint of doing an extra set or sitting in the sauna more, willpower's involvement is saying, no, I'm not going to get out of this sauna. No, I'm not going to stop my exercise. No, I'm not going to stop and go do something else when I'm trying to work on a project. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to smoke weed. I'm not going to whatever it is. Willpower is your ability to say no. What drives your yeses will be your imagination, which we're going to get into later in this video when I'm not hot as fuck right now. It's getting hot. It's getting, I will lie, it's getting hot. But it's important to remember, your no's are fueled by your willpower, your yeses are fueled by your imagination. An example right now is I really want to get out of this sauna. My human self is like, Michael, get out of this sauna, it's hot as fuck. But ultimately my imagination says, yes, I can. Yes, I can do an extra 5 minutes. So my willpower is in saying, no, I'm not going to get out of this sauna. But my imagination is saying, yes, I can. I'm seeing myself. Yes, I can. I see myself doing an extra 5 minutes. I see myself sitting in here and enduring because I know this measly human body can sit through this heat for another 5 minutes. It's also important to know that willpower and discipline are two separate things. Willpower is simply your ability to make decisions, and discipline is your ability to stick to a particular set of practices. Oh, some lavender oil on this bitch. Let's do it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. All right, prepare. All right, so we're gonna take another example here. We're gonna make a little hot air balloon. Let's make this hot air balloon. Is that right? Is that what, is this what hot air balloons look like? Um, no, hold on. I think we need to look, should we look up a photo? No, it's fine. Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad. Let's just fix these lines. Okay, great. So now we have this beautiful hot air balloon. We have this hot air balloon, and we're going to use this as a demonstration to understand how our willpower works and how we can actually use our willpower to allow our lives, like this hot air balloon, to float up and up and up and up and up. Each of us is like this hot air balloon with an eternal flame that is always burning and always seeking to go upward. And when we don't have any weights on us, when we don't have anything in our basket, let's say that, if we don't have anything in our basket, we are continuously going up. We only can go up. And the only reason we wouldn't go up is if we're carrying a bunch of rocks. And so we'll make a couple rocks here. We'll make these like gray. There we go. So we have these rocks, and the only reason why we wouldn't be going upward is if we have a bunch of rocks and we're carrying a bunch of stuff. You know, the more rocks we carry, the harder it is for us to go up. And over time, we're going to descend down to the earth. And so if you're finding yourself in a place where you're continuously kind of on this material plane stuck here, you can't really get out of your own creation, then chances are you need to start unloading some rocks. And as you start unloading rocks, you start slowly going up and up and up. And then finally, you know, you drop that last rock, then you have no other choice to go up. And it's important to know that when we're talking about this will of God, this God self that's within, this flame is eternal. This flame never, ever goes out. It is continuously seeking to go upward, just as a rock is continuously seeking to go down. It's continuously seeking to find rest on the earth. And so in our lives, We are this hot air balloon, continuously seeking to go up. However, we're continuously adding more and more rocks that they don't necessarily always bring us downwards, but they definitely slow our ability to move upwards. And they require more force on our own end to actually, get up. We're asking our infinite potential within us to spark a brighter flame so that we can keep going higher. And while that's possible, it's only going to make your journey harder. It's only going to make this notion of willpower, meaning you have to hustle and push and push and push and like David Goggins the fuck out of your life. It's going to make that real in your life. And we don't want that. We don't want to be hustling like that. We don't want to be pushing ourselves. We don't want to be going harder. Simply, we want to be able to drop some weights so that we can start flying up and up and up and up and up. So when we look at this flame, we understand that this flame, this God self within, is eternal and it's ever looking to express itself. It's always seeking to go higher. It's always seeking to take you up and up and up and up. And it always knows the path. The biggest obstacle in humans is the uncertainty we have in knowing where the path is. But the truth is, we don't need to know where the path is. We have to trust in the mystery to be able to get to where we want to go, because wherever you're trying to go, most likely is somewhere new. It's someplace you've never been before, a new type of being that you've never been. And so trying to predict, trying to know how things are going to happen isn't going to help you whatsoever. It's only going to keep you within the same finite consciousness that you have. So in order to utilize your willpower the right way, we must start saying no to things, start dropping these weights and letting go of them. And then we must trust in the mystery. We must trust that as we drop weights, as we say no to things, our imagination is taking us where we want to go. We can't predict every single step. We can't figure out every single step that's going to take us from A to C, but we know that we start here in A and we are going to make it to C. And it's not up to us to decide. As this balloon goes up, the wind is going to push it in all sorts of different directions. However, it's still going up. The only time the balloon won't go up is when we take all these rocks and we put them back on it, and then it starts to slowly descend. But the beauty of life is no matter how many rocks you have, no matter how much baggage you're carrying, the moment you start letting go of these rocks, you start to float up. You always start to flow up. This flame is eternal within you, and it's always seeking to go upward. So from this standpoint, we can understand that our willpower is used specifically to drop weights, to let go of the things that are not serving us anymore, and to have the strength to actually pick up these rocks and say, I'm not gonna carry you anymore. I'm gonna drop you off the side of this hot air balloon so I can start floating up and up and up and up and up. I'm gonna give you a challenge right now, and let's see how you do. Don't think of a book. Don't think of a book. Come on, don't think of a book. Why? Are you thinking of a book? I think you're thinking of a book. Don't think of a book. If you're thinking of a book, chances are you're a human and your imagination is winning. We've combined your willpower and your imagination in one phrase, and we're seeing proof that your imagination is always going to win. While your willpower is saying, don't do it, your imagination will continuously fixate on the book. And this is exactly what happens when we're focusing on quitting a particular habit. When we say, don't eat junk food, our imagination, which is an upward facing force, which is always moving us forward, is still focusing on the junk food, which means our will is saying one thing and our imagination is actually reverting us back into that creation. So in order to get out of a habit, to get out of addictions, we have to use our imagination to point us in the direction of our desired reality. Meaning we have to think of the circumstances, the feeling states, and the overall experience that we would have with our desired reality already being here. Meaning we can use words like freedom, independence, love, unity, community, courage, and think about those words and think about the lifestyle that those bring into our imagination and follow that. We use our imagination to bring us forward into the life that we want to live, and we use our willpower to drop any excess weights, to let go of the things that don't serve us. However, when we mix our willpower and our imagination and we say, don't think of a book, we're always going to think of a book. Our imagination always wins. So we need to use this to our advantage. We need to use our imagination, which is always going to win, to think of the life that we truly want to live, to contemplate what it would feel like to live the life that we want to live, because the truth is, it's already now. Everything that we need and desire is already within us. It's just a matter of using our willpower to cut off all the excess weight so that our new reality can take form, to come into our being. So utilizing your imagination, if you can see something, you already have it. It's just a matter of letting go of all the things that do not serve you anymore, letting go of all the things by using your willpower to say no, so that your imagination can take you on the path to fulfilling itself. So you might have heard before that energy can neither be created nor destroyed. It can only be redirected. And that's exactly what happens when we harness our willpower. When we harness our willpower by saying no to things, we basically gain points. The moment we say no to something, we have an excess amount of energy points. Let's say we say no to playing video games for the night. We have 100 energetic points that have to go somewhere. And so our job is simply to shift our attention to where we can most likely get what it is that we desire. Basically playing in the sandbox of our desired reality. If you're looking for a home and you haven't been putting any effort towards it because you've been playing video games every night, you say no to playing video games, you get 100 points. Now all you have to do is play in the sandbox where you're most likely to find a home, which means simply going on your computer, typing in Zillow.com or something, and just sitting there and just saying, okay, like now I need to push these points towards this. And there's resistance. There is resistance, but that resistance is not you actually doing the work. The resistance is this lower self, this past version of yourself that is confused. It's used to this habitual nature of playing video games every night. It's used to this habitual nature of doing the thing that you said no to. So the effort lies in you saying no to your lower self and saying, no, we're just doing this right now. We're just redirecting the energy. Because this lower self of you, this will of man, we call it, is scared. It's like, why are things changing? Why are we not sticking to our particular habits and our routine? And so there's no effort in actually doing the work. There's no hard work involved. The only hard work that comes in you creating the life that you desire is helping your lower self understand that changes are being made and that energy is just being redirected. And this is why I say that willpower isn't doing more. Willpower is simply making a decision to redirect the energy of your life. We can say that you have, let's say, 1,000 points of energy each and every single day. You can't get any more and you can't get any less. It's just about how you use it. And so by saying no to one thing, you allow 100, 200 points to be freed up, to be redirected towards something else. So willpower must be used to say no to one thing, get those excess points, and then redirect your attention.